Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to make a quick video and just talk to you a little bit about the next project. So our next project is going to be a few different options, and I hope you'll take these prompts as an exciting way to sort of get into a new process of finding some references for your work, but also I hope you also feel welcome to sort of expand the idea based on sort of what you're interested in as an artist. So I'm going to screen share with you really quick. And we're just going to go over the requirements and just sort of like the options that you have. So while the last project was a little bit more straightforward, this project is going to be a little bit more open-ended. So you're going to have some more options. All right, so within the project number 2 module, you'll have the project itself as well as the sketchbook assignment. But it's important to note that these things are really interrelated. So when you open the project, you'll see that a lot of it is making the reference image for your actual project. So the sketchbook assignment is really sort of built into this project itself. Basically you have 2 prompts. Actually, there's more like 3 prompts that you can choose from, and you can always expand things as well. But the first option is to create a collage and then use that collage as your painting reference. So just like in the last project, how you made a diorama and then painted from it, this will be a similar process, although this time you'll be using photo reference in the form of a collage. So maybe you want to make a collage out of pictures that you've taken. Maybe you have things laying around that you want to cut up and reorient into a composition and then use that to paint from. Or maybe you want to sort of make a digital collage. So maybe you want to sort of find, images from art history or images of places you really want to go and collage them together. So you can make your collage analog or digital. And I really just want you to think about figure-ground relationships in these collages. So what's the sort of new relationship that you're creating by juxtaposing one element with another? And what sort of space is that creating? I also want you to think about sort of how you're balancing out images, textures, colors, values across your composition in your collage. So because sort of like, if you were to make a drawing for your diorama project, you would want that drawing to have a nice, successful composition so that when you went in and painted it, you would feel confident and you know that it's going to sort of have an interesting end product. So same thing goes, where you want to make this collage really feel balanced, feel visually interesting, have some conceptual interest, as well as sort of like just some visual things to chew on, some different balancing of textures, colors, values, and also how can you use juxtaposition to create sort of like a different kind of space. I also want you to really think about the context of the images that you're choosing and what it means and what sort of meaning you're creating when you cut them up and reorient them in some way. So this first option is to make a collage and then use that as your painting reference. So this part of making the collage is what's due next week for the sketchbook assignment. Then making the painting based on the collage is the project itself. So that's one option. Another option is to use Google Street View and to take a virtual walk. So while you're on this walk, you can take screenshots along the way and find some interesting compositions and some interesting places that you're interested in exploring through your painting. So I really want you to think about the context of these places. So think about sort of like the historical context, the social context, what's your relationship to this place, and what does it mean for you to make a work about this place. So you can use this Google Street View prompt to make a work that's maybe personal, or maybe you want to sort of make a political statement. Maybe you want to just sort of find beautiful imagery of landscape and then sort of collage them together to create sort of like an invented world. But regardless, I want you to sort of, if you choose this option of taking a walk on Google Street View, I want you to sort of really sort of use it as an intuitive process. So along the way, don't be afraid to just sort of let something catch your eye and then sort of move from there. So you may have gone on Google Street View before, but here I am in Denver. And if I wanted to go to a specific place, I could just take this little person down here, this little yellow person, and drop it into a space. So then you can sort of move around your camera. And if I decided I wanted to take an image of one of these places, I could then take a screenshot of my screen, which would save it to my computer. So I can then go back and I can zoom out. I can continue zooming out and sort of, maybe I want to, maybe I've been really wanting to be by the ocean and I want to sort of explore some oceanic landscapes. And so you'll see there's also, if you click explore, there's also just a wide variety of photos that folks have taken in different places, which can be really interesting to see. So I can then, like, let's say I wanted to go to San Francisco. This is like a place that is very near and dear to my heart. I could drop myself, I think I'm in the Golden Gate, or I'm in the Presidio here. I can then sort of drop this little person into the space and I can go for a walk. So I can then continue down this path. I can explore these like old army bunkers. Maybe I wanted to do a piece based on these and do a little bit of research into the context of what happened here and, capture this graffiti on the walls. So you can really sort of use this as a way of sort of going for a walk in a place that you love or a place that you miss, or you can also use it as a way of, exploring different concepts. So what does it mean for you to make a painting of a space like this? And there's the Golden Gate Bridge. You can also, on Google Street View, like I could type in the address of my childhood home, and I could go there. So if you want this to be a personal painting, I could then sort of drop my little person into a space that holds a lot of personal meaning to me. So here's the house I grew up in. It's down here within these trees. So you can absolutely use it as a way of exploring family history. Maybe you wanted to do some research into, where like your great-great-grandmother lived, and sort of use that as a way of conceptually entering the process. I can also, on Google Street View, explore a lot of national parks, which can be really exciting. So a lot of places have sort of been included in this Google Street View sort of like archive. So I might go to the Everglades, place I went with when I was a kid. So I really recommend sort of, exploring, having fun, and seeing what you can find. And so this is just one option, is to use Google Street View. However, you can also take screenshots along the way and then print them out and collage with these Google Street View images. So you can actually combine the prompts. So you can make a collage, you can just go on Google Street View and take one snapshot to paint, or you could combine them. So I could then sort of make a Photoshop collage with these, or I could go in and print them out and reconfigure them, cut them up, see what I can make. So there's really so many options. And I recommend sort of exploring, having fun. Use this as a way of sort of like taking a virtual walk. But yeah, there's so many options for this project. Here you can see just the 3 options. So Let me know if you have any questions about them. So the third prompt is make a collage from Google Street View, and then use that as your reference image. So you can make this actual painting in acrylics, in mixed media, or in gouache. So I'm also going to show you and use this project as a way of showing you some different ways of incorporating different mixed media into your painting. So from here, or from the beginning of the semester until now, we've really focused on acrylic, a bit of gouache. But for this one, I really want to show you how you can expand sort of like your toolbox of what you can use in your painting. So I'm going to show you some photo transfer techniques. So using gel or gloss medium to transfer an image onto your painting. I'm also going to show you how you can physically collage images into your painting. So you can use your collage as your reference, but you can also use it as a part, like an element in a process in your painting project as well. So it must be at least 8 by 10 inches, just like last time. If you prefer to do a bunch of small ones, that's great too. But you only need to make one. I want you to push the idea of complementary neutrals and a complex color scheme. Begin with an underpainting, so plan out your process, and make some sketches and thumbnails in preparation. So I always recommend sort of doing a little bit of sketching before you physically put paint on the canvas. So the critique and due date, double check your canvas for it. Making this video for both of my painting classes, so I don't want to be too specific. But then I also have some relevant artists to look at. So I'll include a bunch of these in the presentation that I'll show you next week. But absolutely, yeah, so check those out. And here I have the rubric. And this is actually worth 15% of your grade, not 10. But please let me know if you have any questions. I really hope you'll take this project as a way of sort of expanding what you've been learning, as well as practicing some things you might have not tried before. So painting, making a painting of really subtle collaged paper can be really difficult and really exciting. But I'm really excited to see how you sort of work with space through either collage or Google Street View, or a combination. But I'm so excited to see what you do. And please let me know if you have any questions, or if you have an idea that you feel like might be expanding the project or taking in a different direction. Let me know and we can talk about it, and that probably is just fine too. Awesome. Well, I hope you all have a lovely day. Don't forget to check out the project, as well as the sketchbook assignment. So the sketchbook assignment number 8, basically just has you doing the prep work for the painting for this project. So either making your collage or going on Google Street View and finding references. And then I want you to do a little bit of writing about sort of what your idea is, the context, the meaning, the history of these places you might be pulling from, just so that you already have a conceptual framework in your brain before you get started with all of the really sort of formal aspects of the project, when you're really sort of thinking about color and value and composition. So absolutely take a look at this work, or sorry, this sketchbook assignment, which is due next week. And I'm just really excited to see what you're up to. All right, have a lovely day.